everybody, this is me. I'm Steffi. I'm Dutch, but I live in Spain. And I'm going to do this tutorial in English. But I wanted to let you know this is not my mother language and I'm going to try the best I can. Subscribe on my channel if you don't want to miss any other DIY tutorial, and follow me on my social media, and I will see you there. Share it if you think this tutorial is useful. Stay home, stay safe, and stay strong. Let's start. I'm going to show you how to make this mask really easy in just a few steps. It is made of 100% cotton, so if you don't have fabric at home, you don't worry, you can also use old clothes or bed sheets, for example. 100% cotton mask won't protect you, so it has a pocket where you can put a non-woven fabric filter inside. And I will also give you some tips where you can find non-woven fabric, because probably you have it at home. As you can see, I also designed it for my 3 children, and I will give you all of the patterns and the measures for all ages and for adults. Here we go. Well, these are the measures and patterns you need for every age, and I'm going to show you step by step how you can make this mask. For every mask you will need 2 pieces of fabric of 100% cotton. Before we're going to sew, you have to iron them. We're going to sew a hem on the longest side of 1 piece of fabric. So put it upside down, facing the beautiful part down, and we're going to fold it like 1 centimeter and iron it. And this step we're going to repeat again. Fold it up again, just 1 centimeter, and iron it again, so it will be much easier to sew. And this we are going to repeat exactly the same in the second piece of fabric. Fold it 1 centimeter, iron it, fold it again, and iron it. Now we're going to put the beautiful part facing up, with the hem on this side, and we're going to put the second piece on top of it, exactly in the opposite, facing the beautiful part down. Now we're going to put some pins, so it will be much easier to sew and everything stays in place. And we're going to put the first 2 pins in the part where we're going to sew a hem. Leave a space in between of 9 centimeters, because that will be the space that we are not going to sew, because it's going to stay open, so we are able to put a filter in and out every time we're going to use it. So we're going to sew all the way around, starting from this point to that point, but in the middle we're not going to sew. This will be the opening to put the filter. We're going to sew with a straight stitch, and we're going to start at the pin that we put next to the opening. Don't forget, if you're starting and finishing a seam, that you have to do some stitches backwards and forwards to make sure that the thread is not going to get loose. When you get to the first corner, just let the needle down, turn the fabric, and continue sewing. You can do this until you get to the end.
Somebody ought to come along and let you down, so you could see my side and how it feels to hit the ground. How can you say that nothing's different, that we should pick up the pieces? Somebody ought to come along.
When we get at the end, don't forget to put some stitches backwards and forwards. And then you have finished the first part. And it should look like this. Here we have the opening to put the filter. If there is some leftover fabric, cut it now before we're going to turn it the other way around. Also cut the corners, so it's not going to bulk. Until now, all of the steps of this tutorial is exactly the same for each size. Now we're going to put it the other way around. If it's a little bit difficult to get the corners inside out, then you can use, for example, a pencil to press it from the inside. And then iron it again. Very important if you want to have a good result. Now, having the opening for the filter on the bottom part, we're going to make 2 folds, or we're going to part the mask in 3 equal parts. Then iron the first fold. Fold the second one and iron it again. I will show you how it will look like from this side. It's very important that the folds are going to be facing down, because in this way dirt and dust cannot get in between the folds. So repeating it, here we have the opening and the folds are going this direction. Also, this step is exactly the same for every kind of size of mask. But of course, when the mask is folded, the smaller size is not that width as the big size. So I'm going to give you the measures. The smaller one has to be 6 centimeters. The second size has to be 7, the third 8, and the biggest one for adults has to be 9 centimeters. Don't worry, I will leave you a picture right here.
But if you wanted to be loved, you should have never let me go. Hope somebody will break your heart.
Okay, here we have the mask and the folds facing down. We're going to flip it and we're going to make the folds at the back side where we're going to put the elastic band. And of course, we're going to iron it, so it will be much easier to sew. I want to create a tunnel where we can pass through an elastic band, because I don't want to sew the elastic band to the mask, because if we're using the mask quite a lot, it's possible that the elastic band gets wider and looser. Or maybe it's too tight and you want to get it a little bit longer. Now here a little trick. Put a small thread before we're going to sew the fold. And sew in direction of the folds. The reason I put the small thread and not the elastic band is because the elastic band is a little bit thicker. So maybe accidentally you will sew it to the mask and you will not be able to move it anymore.
Somebody ought to come along and let you down.
If we have sewn both parts, then we are ready for the next step. I recommend you not to use normal elastic band, but for example an old legging or tights, because this material is much softer and much nicer to put a very long time behind your ears. Cut some pieces and open it.
You should have never let me go. Somebody said it should be easy.
Now we're going to knot it to the small thread, and then we're going to pull the thread, so it will be much easier to pass it through the tunnel that we created.
But why'd you have to break my heart? I wasn't ready to let you go yet. Now you stand.
And of course, if you have a really small crochet needle, you can also use this one.
But if you wanted to be loved, you should have never let me go.
Now it's time to measure it. If you have the size, then make a double knot and cut the excess.
What it's like to be left out in the cold, standing by yourself. No one
Now we're going to pull the band and we're going to put the small knot inside of the tunnel for a better finish, and of course it's more practical to not have the knot behind your ears. Okay, we're getting to the last part of the tutorial. We're going to sew a little wire on the upper part of the mask so we can sew it perfectly on the nose. You will need wire and a little bit of tape, a really good tape that the wire is not going to get through. Bend the ends to the inside so that it should look like something like this. Now get some tape and wrap it around. This will prevent the wire from passing through the fabric, and also it's a little bit softer.
pain to know what it's like to be left out in the cold, standing by yourself, no one to hold. If you still wanted to be loved, you should have never let me go.
We will put it in the mask on the upper part like this. So we're going to put it on the inside, and then we're going to sew it all the way around with a straight stitch.
Somebody ought to come along and let you down, so you could see my side and how it feels to hit the ground. How can you say that nothing's different, that we should pick up the pieces?
And yes, we are going to get till the end. Look at this, how it will look like if you bend it, and it will fit perfectly to the part of your nose. And now the most important part of the tutorial, you have to put a filter inside, if not, this mask will not protect you. So I'm going to use non-woven fabric. Don't panic if you don't think you will be able to get this fabric in any place, because probably you will have it at home. A shopping bag or a shoe sack or a suit cover. All of this material normally is non-woven fabric. And if you want to test it, then just put a little bit of water on top of it and just see if it's not going to get through. If it's not, well, then you have your perfect homemade filter. Unfold the mask and measure it from the wire until the bottom, So now you know which size you have to cut the filter. Very important, it's not recommended to wash the non-woven fabric filter. So throw it away after every single use and wash the fabric mask in the laundry machine on 60 degrees. I hope you find this tutorial very useful. If you do, then share it with everybody you think you should see it. Thank you so much for watching. Comment or give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next tutorial. And I will say it again, stay home, stay safe, and stay strong. Bye.